lot of room there.
Yeah.
A lot of room.
I cramped your style, don't I?
Yeah. Big old mug next to me. We're like two giants.
Yeah.
Two sober giants. God, it's loud. Hey, guys. Hey, welcome to Sober Talk. You are here because you want to get sober, you need to get sober, or perhaps you're just sober curious for whatever the reason is. We are glad you're here.
Is that you playing on this music?
That's, you know me. You know how I be.
No, that's you?
No, that's not me.
Okay.
It's a good piece though. People text me all the time. Hey, what's that music? I say, I'm not telling you, because you'll use it, and then it won't be special to us.
That's not why I was asking. I was just thought
know.
that I heard a lot of errors in there. I figured you.
That's funny.
Uh-huh.
Oh, geez. So I just. Oh,
Welcome back.
Yeah. Well, thanks. I messed up my whole thing. So you're here because you want to be sober, or you need to get sober. Perhaps you're sober curious. How do you know if you have a drinking problem? If it causes problems. I've been sober since July 18th. You've been sober since how?
February 3rd.
3rd. Okay. That's this next February.
Yeah.
That's your start date.
I'm planning on recovering. Yeah.
Okay. That's good.
Haven't started yet.
Oh God, that's funny. I spent.
Yeah, you were down
Hilton Head.
Hilton Head.
And I took my son, and my son is a clone of me when I was his age. It is he's just he's has ADHD and OCDs and all the D's and let me get rid of that thing here, and it's just it was tough. It was really tough, and plus I'm on the beach. There's the tiki hut. There's live music.
Okay, so tell me the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Temptations, triggers, you had to face them, right?
Well, are you talking about Temptation Island with the girls in the bikini? It was like only 60. No, all kinds of triggers. Once I go into my place, and you see my place,
Yeah.
it literally opens up. There's the ocean, and well, heck, you can't be out on the terrace without a mixed drink or something.
I catch my hand just defaulting into this position as I'm sitting around down there. Last time we were down there, God, it was probably 10 years ago, but I remember just, it was the first time I'd quit drinking for a long time.
I remember you.
And it was just, I'm supposed to be drinking right now.
That's what you said. You said, yeah, I'm not going to lie, it wasn't easy. I had to, two things that I did. I ate a whole lot, and this is a nasty habit, but I bought a pack of cigarettes. And it just, because I was so nervous, and I forgot my CBD oil. And by the way, I want to shout out to hempwellnessfarm.com, hempwellnessfarm.com, CBD shop.
You just don't lose a job, though, for smoking cigarettes. You usually don't get a DUI, so...
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
One step at a time.
That's true. And...
So you bought a lot of food.
Bought a lot of food. Went out, crab legs. I treated myself to all the stuff that you would get on Hilton Head, except the alcohol.
Yeah.
And it was very, very challenging.
Those places are designed for drinkers. I mean,
it's like the law. It's like being on a boat. You have to drink.
They market everything about it is marketed towards drinkers, and yeah, it's tough. I'd love to hear what some
of the people here.
Yeah, what do you guys do to handle triggers? Because my thing is it's getting easier. If I can get my mind off it any way, anyhow,
right,
and just come up with something to distract me, it goes away. It seems to go away a lot quicker than it did at first.
Well, they say pick up the phone.
Yeah.
Instead of picking up a drink, pick up a phone. You were telling me something about a meeting a couple of years ago, and you said someone was sharing, and they called someone, and within 5 minutes they're talking about.
It was a guy that I know, and he was said he got squirrely or sideways or what do I want to say one night,
right.
and he called another one of our buddies, and he said within 5 minutes they were talking about hockey, and he realized he had forgotten about everything that it got his mind off it.
Yeah.
So it's just. I don't know. But for me, I got to have those outs or those those resources ready.
I went to a place. My place is like right next. It's on Pope Avenue, Coligny Plaza area, and one of my favorite bars. They have the best wings, and I got down there Friday night. Josh didn't fly until Sunday, so I had like 2 days by myself. So I went to this pub, and you still got to wear your mask when you're down there, and you take it off when you get and they know me. Like, hey, Bud Light?
Yeah.
Nah, Diet Coke.
Well, yeah. Okay. What? Yeah. I wondered with you being, with what you do. I hear sometimes celebrities, get recognized a lot, and people are always wanting. I guess you don't really face that problem, though, do you? So, but that's what I've been told. Maybe
I heard, when I'm hanging out,
some of your friends might say that. But no, that's
no. I had people send over drinks and buy drinks before, and I go, this is sweet, thank you, and it'd be a shot or something like that. I said,
that's how I met you.
You bought me a drink.
Yeah, I did.
And never called me. It was oh God, look at how crooked is that us? Are we that crooked? Oh, it looks funky. But
we haven't even asked for money yet. What are you talking about?
So a lot of times on the show, guys, we talk about war stories, and sometimes those war stories, they're funny as hell, and sometimes they end in divorce, and sometimes, unfortunately, even death. You have some great drunk stories. I love the one when you left the beer in the console of your F-150 or whatever truck you had at the time, and you locked it in there.
Yeah, going up to the Lowe's or whatever it was at the time.
Well, you said there was a lady.
Yeah, I went over to it. It was a TGI Fridays right there, and I went over and to use the phone. I think this was back before cell phones. But I said, I got to use your phone and call my father-in-law to come get me into my truck, and she said, there's the local cop around here is a friend of mine. I can call him and he'll let you in. That's okay. I'm good. I'll just call my father-in-law. And she said, no. And I almost got mad at her saying,
no, don't call the cops.
Phone down. There's a half.
That's crazy.
Well, I guess being an alcoholic, a half-empty beer. You don't say a half full, it's half empty for me. But half-empty beer sitting in the middle of the dash, and it's like, you sure you're fine? I said, yeah, he's 3 hours away. He'll be here in no time.
Well, what do you do? About temptation? Because I'm not gonna lie. It was a couple of times I thought I was going to cave.
For one, I no longer deny it because it's normal.
Okay.
I was always when I first quit drinking. It was like, oh no, I'm fine. No, I'm great. Never think about it. Life is good.
Yeah.
Which is such a crock. It's the temptation is still there. I saw an ad just today, and normally they don't bother me, but it was for a local band in Cincinnati, and it showed a girl at like an outdoor venue with a beer in her hand, and it just
she sounds hot.
Yeah, she
really sounds hot.
No, it just for whatever reason it triggered, and you hear that word triggers all the time, but it triggered just wow, that just looks like a fun outdoor venue. We're all dying to see our, bands and, music and concert or, getting out in the, with crowds, that whole scene. And it just looks so good. And I thought, you know what? Okay, that's not a problem. That's normal.
Yeah.
That is something that, people say, I wish I could forget those things. But, alcohol, at least for me, it was good memories.
Great memories.
It was great. It was the bulk of my time with it. But towards the end, those the relationship soured. That's for sure.
Let's read a couple of these comments.
I wasn't done talking, but that's okay. It's your show.
No, it's our show when you're here.
Yeah.
Bradley Stogsdale Williams says, just hit 10 years sober December 10th. Still a struggle. When I go to a casino or a patio restaurant, I just grab a Diet Coke on the rocks or an unsweet tea. That sounds like me. Just gives the feeling of a cold drink in my hand. Sometimes I have them throw a lime or cherry in it. I do like the LaCroix or club soda.
A little fizz.
A little fizz. I used those the first time that I quit, and that's something else. I remember when I first quit, I'm done. Yeah. And I did that for 2 years. I'm done. And one of our founding members on here, not a founding member, he's been watching for a while, but he just got sober like 3 weeks ago. He's like, oh, yeah, I can't believe I ever drank in my life. I got,
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, man, that's great. That's awesome. But I'm like, work it.
Yeah, I'm not going to deny that things look good, and they are good memories. It's like saying goodbye to a good friend.
You're saying good memories. Danny Holland says, the best times I'll never remember.
Yeah.
5 years sober for Jerry.
That's awesome.
Hey, Mabe sober from Ogden, Utah. Been clean for 5 months, 1 week. Well, that's Josh Hipwell. Josh, congrats to you. Ron Amity, February 4th, 2021 will be 2 years sober.
So I want to. What are you guys doing? I mean, I want to get. You know what?
We need
got,
tips.
Tom, we got the holidays coming up.
Yep.
We're gonna have in-laws, our own relatives. We're gonna have COVID restrictions, all the other stuff, and everyone around us is gonna be drinking and offering us stuff. I'm just curious what people are doing. What are their secrets or
so
their tricks
let
to
us
get
know
through it?
in the comments here, both on if you're watching Tom Mabe Comedy, Mabe in America, or Sober Talk. I used to do a joke in my act. I said, I used to measure everything in beer. Cut my grass, 2 beers. From my house to church, 2 beers. You know, from my house, my mother-in-law's house, 12 beers.
Yeah.
And she lives across the street.
Yeah.
So, oh, there's Gary Adams. Sup, fam?
It was still a 15-mile drive. It's just around the
Oh,
block.
God. How many
38
times? How many times have you trying to finish that? You're like, I got time for one more, and you just like take the long way
if
around.
you start the next one, you can't. You know, so you got to finish it. So just it.
You know, one thing I'm starting to feel. I'm starting to. Well, I'm not. I'm especially. I ate so much. I mean, I went and bought. That's something else. I bought tons of sweets, cookies, those little Snicker bars, peanut M&Ms. I ate those like they're freaking. You know, I just constantly grabbing them.
Peanut butter M&Ms.
I haven't had
now
those.
you're living.
I
That's
haven't had the peanut butter.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
And we'll have to give a shout out to Reese's.
You know the one that they always say, you know, if you're struggling or having just urges, get out and run. It's like, I want a solution I can do for my couch. I don't want to
Don't you turn on the running channel?
Yeah, it's what I don't want to go out and run 12 miles to get a craving to go away.
Dallas Wise Cup says sobriety is in the mind. Carl Martin says Tom Mabe is such a great guy, so much better looking than Jeff Graham. Tina Labate, August 16th here. Tina's got Tina, I thought you were. I'm August 18th. That's right. So you're 2 days more. Okay. Mark Kellogg. Hello. Hey. Darren here. I smoke cigarettes too. Darren says. Well, I'm trying not to get in that habit because that's not a good habit. I mean, because you have one and your whole body stinks and it's just
but you know what? If you can stay sober, you work on the cigarettes at a slower pace.
Gary Adams. Gary, there is a study out that says smoking, if you quit the same time you quit drinking, you have like an 80% more chance of staying sober.
I don't.
Gary, do you remember telling me something like that? That's pretty. Let me call Gary. What's this? Call Gary Adams.
You talking to me?
No, I'm talking to Siri.
Oh,
She's not going to call him. My smartphone
Just
is
to
somewhat
confirm,
special.
you'd like to call Gary Adams Sober Talk.
Yes, and I'm learning how to
Calling
speak a
now.
different language. So that's a trick. You turn your phone into the language. And I'm trying to learn how to speak British.
That's highway Rob.
That's he says triggers should be expected.
Hello?
Gary, Tom Mabe, how are you, buddy?
What's going on, brother?
Hey, we had a quick question. We're talking about, so I just got back from Hilton Head, and I bought a pack of cigarettes because I was down there. I was nervous. My kid's hyper. He ran 7 miles, never left the couch. That kind of thing. So and Jeff was saying, don't, hey, one thing at a time. One thing. Was it you telling me that if you quit smoking the same time you quit drinking, your chances increase of staying sober or something like that?
That's what I was told when I went to rehab. They said that anyone that's going through a rehabilitation program, if they quit smoking as well, that their chances are better of staying in recovery.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But I think as far as for anybody in the facility that I was in, I was the only person that quit smoking.
One friend of mine, I guess he picked up smoking in rehab because it was just, he was the only one that wasn't smoking, and everyone went outside at every break. And he said it was he felt lonely just sitting in the place. No, I'm serious. He said he was lonely sitting there, so he'd go outside and
Didn't you said you picked up a boyfriend while you were in prison because you were lonely. Was that you?
I was young and I needed I was young and I needed the
So,
money.
you know,
Okay,
it's-
let's not.
Is that what's your? Is this a Gallon Graham?
Oh God, I don't know.
It's a hi,
best person.
Dad. So proud of you. Love you.
Oh God, yeah. She's trying to get back at me from.
Is she really?
She's the best.
God, can we
She's-
call her? Can she tell some more stories on you?
You can call her if you want. I'd have to go grab my phone. I'd have to get the number.
Oh, that's right.
Hey,
Well,
Galen,
hold on, Gary.
text us the number, dear.
Gary, how you been, brother? You been good?
Pretty good, pretty good. I'm currently enrolled in peer support certification classes,
Oh,
and
peer.
I'll be going
support.
to take that certification course probably. I think it's either in January or March. I go in and
Wait,
take
what?
the course for that.
What is this?
peer support.
Peer
Peer support. Okay, I gotcha.
yeah, I'm a,
You're going to like
looking
have
at,
two different
getting-
careers, huh? You're going to have like two different careers going on at once then. 3.
yes, sir.
Musician, your professional career, and your other professional career, and peer support. That sounds like
Yes,
something you
sir.
really have a passion for.
Oh, it is. It is. Since I spent, so long in the dark, and finally, got out from underneath of this thing, the best things that I've found to do is to help the next person. A program of action, and it's something that even when I was in detox, I felt drawn towards it, even when I was so sick
Really?
and feeling so bad going through detox, and y'all were talking about the smoking and everything, and everybody goes and does it. That's in the detox unit I was in. They used it as punishment. For not going to meetings, you can't go smoke.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I guarantee it would have worked. It
wow. That's interesting.
I was in November is when I went in, and it was frigid out, and people were just bundling up. But
I try to do my rehabs in like Malibu and
Yeah,
in the
smart.
September. It's really nice. I'm teasing. Never. Well, Gary, thanks for picking up. We are Jeff and I are starting to get really serious. We are setting up shop at Jeff's house. We're going to have a Sober Talk studio, satellite thing there for him. And a lot of times,
sweet.
huh?
I said, "Oh, sweet."
Yeah.
well, someone had promised me gas money for doing this gig,
And I think I saw the truck you drove. I think just getting a studio will be cheaper in the long run. But no, it's just because a lot of times I'm not being. But right now, Gary, we're really trying to figure out how we can, have something going on, not just every night at 8, but a Zoom meeting or two during the day. Some speakers. What would you, when you're in a rehab facility, what would you benefit from? But like Sober Talk is really cool. We love doing it, and I want to continue to do it, and we are. But we want to be able to offer other things. Are there what other online stuff you think would be cool to do?
The Zoom meetings is good. If you get someone and it doesn't have to be like associated with AA or NA or any other type of anonymous kind of group. But if you can find someone that can talk about recovery dynamics,
Recovery
recovery
dynamic.
Yeah, recovery dynamics.
Okay.
That's basically somebody that's really versed in recovery dynamics can actually they can step through with what addiction is, with the physical allergy, coupled with a mental obsession, and how that starts the cycle, which is once you're on that cycle, you tend to perpetuate it,
Yeah.
and you start at the starting point. 1 drink equals 2, 2 drinks equals 4, 4 equals 8, and then you're off on a well-known spree.
You know what
and I learned a lot of going when I went through rehab and some of the classes. We did a lot of classes, but the recovery dynamics were one of my favorites.
Recovery dynamics.
Yeah, I'd love. One of the things I'd love to get some topics I'd love to hear about is, from dealing with friends that are not alcoholics, that don't or that drink, that you still want to socialize with because of friends. How you handle that? I got 10 months in this, and I'm Well, I know Tom, same way. Total newbies. I mean, this is what I love about this show is it's just getting feedback on
Yeah.
tons of new ideas of pick and choose what works for each one. But how to with a spouse that doesn't love to get their perspective sometime on a spouse that doesn't drink. What it's like dealing with a guy like me, or a spouse that is drinking and going through it.
And that may be a good thing to have like an Al-Anon type, have like have a segment that comes on like at 10 o'clock every morning called "My Husband's a Drunk,"
or an ungrateful daughter that just wants to humiliate her father.
How do you pronounce her name?
Galen.
Galen. You have to make sure you share this on all your platforms. I say, hey, my dad's on Facebook.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, sweetie. I would have used the code name if I had known you were watching tonight.
Yeah, it says, hi, Dad. So proud of you. That just says sarcasm all over it.
She's the best. She's the best.
How many beers from here to Cincinnati?
It was now it's measured in Diet Pepsis and.
I used to be able to do it in 9, but damn road construction took me 14 this time.
Well, I told you the first time 15 years ago, my first day meeting with you. As soon as I left, I went straight to a mini mart for the drive back to Cincinnati. That's how effective it was.
That's right. He's so social. You were like, hey, man, you're making friends with everybody. You're like, I'll come back down. And like 5 minutes later, you're at 7-Eleven buying a 12
Just looking around, hoping no one was coming in.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, Gary, thanks so much for picking up, brother.
Oh, no problem. I'll always enjoy being on.
Hey, congrats.
And
Go ahead. Anything you want to talk about or say? Go ahead, brother.
Oh no, just like what you all were talking about at the very beginning about triggers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I had put a comment in on the thread. I was listening to it, and stepping into recovery, you should always expect that the triggers are coming.
So what are
expected.
your keys? You're going out for let's just go. The holidays are coming up. You got in-laws. You got your own family. You got work parties.
I've
the list is
got
endless.
family. I'm not a real social person anyway. I'm not introverted, but I'm not a real.
For the sake of the show, pretend that you're no. But what's your plan for that? How do you in advance?
In advance, I have a group, my support group of people. Some of the ones that I went through rehab with. I currently have a few sponsees, and of course, I have a sponsor. And I have people in my support group that I've built into that when I'm feeling a certain kind of way, or if I need to talk to somebody, then I know that they're on the ready, that I can call them and talk to them. On Thursday nights, I usually chair a group for guys that are going in their first 60 to 90 days of treatment at a facility downtown in Louisville. And that really helps a lot because it kind of holds me in check, it keeps my head on straight. And, but really, honestly, one of the important things is for the people that I do know that still do drink, that they know that I'm in recovery and they're supportive of it. And and unfortunately there are some people that aren't supportive of it. I can still be friends with you, but I have to be friends with you from over here.
Okay. Well, let me throw this at you. You're at the party, because I've heard this from people. You're at the party and you're climbing the corporate ladder. Maybe it's a newer job, whatever the case may be. Bosses come up, don't know that you're an alcoholic. The boss wants to buy you a drink or have a drink with you at the Christmas party. I've heard of people fall into that because they don't want to insult the boss or do the wrong thing, so they'll drink for job security or whatever.
I think you just have to at that point. But Gary works at a treatment center. They're not going to have a Christmas party drinking at a treatment center.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, but
that helps.
The thing for me would be, like I'm in bands. I've been in bands for over 20 years, and when I first was in recovery, I would make excuses. Oh man, I don't feel good, or I got to drive tonight or something, at first. But then, as I became more secure in my recovery, I don't drink. You know what I'm saying? I don't drink. And if it gets, if it gets pursued, I'm not trying to lay my story out on somebody, especially at a bar or anything. I don't. It doesn't work for me. Do you want me
I
to burn
just try
this
to
bar
crack
down?
a joke if I can.
said, dude,
and
I just have blood work. My check liver light came on. I can't, I can't drink. It sucks right now. Maybe in a couple
well, not
hours.
all of
Check
us
back
are.
with me in a couple hours.
If
Not
you
of-
give me,
Not
if
all
you,
of us are.
if you buy me a,
If you buy me a what?
if you buy me a shot, I'm gonna burn this bar to the ground.
That works. That works. I've done that one. Well, all right, Gary. I want to read a real quick. Carl Martin says, you're talking about your cop thing.
Yeah.
Carl says, guys, this is too dang funny. My first encounter with a policeman relative to alcohol occurred in the small convenience store parking lot. I had forgotten to remove my 16-ounce in the center console
Yep.
top before I went into the store. The lawman parked right next to my truck, and I saw him look in my truck while I was in the store. He allowed me to call my wife to come get me, and I paid the store owner $100 to let me keep my truck parked there overnight.
Yeah.
That's great. Oh, Carl can always get involved in stuff.
Oh, I'm sure there's a ton of stories. I mean, we've all done that, trying to get out of.
Oh yeah, geez. Gary? Do you have anything just crazy funny that you ever happened when you got drunk?
Yeah.
Okay, you don't have to
Spill
answer.
Spill it.
I've done some pretty crazy things. I left one night. I left one night from Phoenixville Tavern. This is back when we were playing one night, and somebody had slipped something in my drink, and of course I was pretty looped out, and I managed to get out of my truck. I went and I drove, and when I realized I can't do this, I parked my truck behind a business and then went and sat out and passed out on the front steps. And I woke up with somebody, hey man, hey buddy, you need to wake up, man. He's like, do you know where your truck is, or do you know where your vehicle is? And I'm like, no, I walked. Well, needless to say, I got a public intoxication charge.
Oh God! I got drunk one time, and same situation. I had to pass out somewhere, so I made my way to a Ticketmaster window, and I just passed out there, and people thought I was sleeping, waiting to get tickets for a show in line. You're dedicated.
You got a free T-shirt out of the
I
deal.
wish, God,
and,
who's just some joke? I forget who said that, but somebody York, great joke. Yeah, I think one time I've had a lot of Phoenix Hill stories. I remember coming out of Phoenix Hill with Jim Dishman, and Jim had this old Ford Escort, and you start it, and it's like this blue smoke. He thought it was like a James Bond 007 car or something. And these hot girls were like walking by looking at it, and I just took my hand, I patted the roof of the car, and went, 16 more payments, this baby's mine.
It's all yours.
All right, Gary, I'll talk to you soon, brother.
All right, man.
See you, Gary.
It's real good talking to you guys, man.
You too, brother. We'll see you.
All right, man. Later.
Yeah, I found like just cracking a joke about it more than anything is.
But you can't tell them, because a lot of people really don't. You're an alcoholic? No, I'm not going to do business with you because you're going to fall off. You can't. Have you started watching Flake? Yeah.
I heard about it.
Oh my gosh, God. Netflix.
He
Will
fell off during the filming of that.
15 years sober. Will Arnett
Arnett.
fell off the wagon while filming that. He said he was just questioning.
And it's about a guy in AA.
It's a great show, and oh my gosh, is it a great show? If you haven't started watching it, it's one of the few shows I could watch twice. I watch Breaking Bad. Obviously, I watched it twice all the way through.
Bachelorette.
The Queen, like 9 times on that one. The Queen's Gambit, I watched twice. But this one I could watch again.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's called Flaked. It's on Netflix with Will Arnett, and there's 2 seasons, and it's a wonderful, wonderful show.
Yeah, he had 15 years sobriety, and
yeah,
during the filming, and he portrays a guy in AA. Deals with it. It looks pretty good. I guess
you're gonna love it. You're gonna love this show. You're gonna love this show. Let's read some comments here. We got Joe Harris. Hey Joe. Lynn Campbell. Good body every evening. Oh, so Lynn Campbell didn't say good evening, everybody. He put good body every evening. I think we're still waiting for Lynn to get back on the wagon. Lynn, buddy, you're killing me here. Lynn, I would love to hear from you. Where are you at right now in your sobriety? Um, D.A. Cruz, hey, brothers and sisters, I'm glad. The one and only Crazy Man Tom is doing this for us. Thank you there, D.A. Didn't mention nothing about Jeff
Yeah, I
Brown.
was gonna say you jumped over 3.
Hold on,
of
let me
them
just
there.
mute your mic there. Dallas, what's
Yeah,
sobriety?
Galen, call your brothers and sister and have
Yeah,
them call.
yeah.
I need all the chats I can
We
get.
want to get we want to get them on the air. Dirk DeFord is here, and we said Gary has Wendy.
You know, I think back when the times buying beer, when the lying of how many times I said that I was buying it for how many other people. You know, and
Oh, yeah.
you know, it was like, oh, and they would make a joke, you thirsty, and of course it was all for me, but I'd say, big house painting party tonight, got to pay the guys somehow, and
I used to buy it in the morning, and I go third shift.
long
You know,
night.
and they all knew who I was. I was drinking in the morning. Wendy Narg, how you pronounce that? Nargiz, Nargiz. Dirk DeFord. God, my eyes are getting bad. And let's see. Pass out at a red light and see how that works out for you. Jeez.
You know what?
Can you?
The thing you gotta. We joke about this, and I've had some people say, "Why do you guys, you make jokes about stuff and make light of it?" And no, there's a ton of seriousness, and this is deadly serious. But at the same time,
We're not
I
a
can
glum
laugh,
lot.
well, I can laugh at some of the stories about me because I feel I'm making I'm getting better. You know,
and a lot of times,
fixing it.
yeah. And the thing is, we do have, we share. This is not AA. This is,
Right.
real quick. So Carl Marsh says, pass out at a red light and see how that works out for you. That is an awful feeling. A guy in the car behind me came up to my car, knocked on the window, scared the crap out of me. He said, scared the carp out of me. And I told him I had been driving all night. Thank goodness it was not the police. Wow. I was listening to, I love Rogan, and I've done radio with him, and he had who did he have on? He had what's the Ron White. Had Ron White, and Ron, he said you look good, and Ron's 63 now, and he said, well, yeah, kind of. He started going into his sobriety, but he also has a line of liquor called Number One with Alex Ramondo, a buddy who's a local guy done well. He opens for Ron quite a bit, and he says, I'm doing like, instead of the 12 steps, I'm doing back a little bit, and I'm like, let's see how that works out there for you. That's you can't cut back. We're not the way we're wired.
Yeah, I'm on a roll, and I'm not going to back. You know, I've had some people questioning AA, and I don't care what you do, what program. The best program out there is whichever one works for you.
Yeah.
I mean, and you got to go with that. But
And that fitness machine program at like 2:00 in the morning.
yeah, exactly.
It's only like $70 a month.
I've lost
So,
ever since I put
Bowflex.
that
Bowflex.
Planet Fitness key fob on my keychain. I've lost so much just driving around with that.
I joined Planet Fitness. I've already lost $10.
Yeah.
I plan on fitness in my mouth. This big piece of cake.
Well, yeah, there's some bashing about AA and some of these other programs with the numbers are low, but you know what? It does take work, and I guess my hat's off to anyone that's watching this or listening to this and that's plugging that going after it, because it does take work. It's not a quick fix.
Yeah, we're going to call Scott real quick. Scott has been sober for 3 weeks almost. He may or may not pick up. John Irwin, hey, what's up? Hey, Scott, you're live with Tom and Jeff Sober Talk. What's happening with you?
No, sitting here eating a tangerine. How are y'all doing?
God, tangerine. I used to love tangerine with vodka. So, we're telling war stories. Did you have a comment that you wanted to tell?
No, I just wanted to call in and tell everybody, hey, I'm doing great, and sobriety date's 11/19/20, and I feel like a totally different person.
You know what, Scott? I was on the night that you were going in.
Yeah, that's right. We got
that was I didn't even know we were going to talk to you tonight. I'm thrilled to hear from you. That's fantastic. So,
Hey,
Are you doing? How are you? What's your program of choice? Are you like working steps, AA, or what are you doing?
yes, I'm doing AA. I'm even going to the NA meetings, even though I'm not a narcotics user.
We
but
all
I still
we all
go to-
say that. We all. But go ahead.
Well, yeah, but alcohol's a drug. That's the first thing they told me, because the first night I went to a meeting, I was in a NA meeting. I'm like, I think I'm at the wrong place, and they're like, no, you're at the right place.
I've heard people say that. I've heard people say they like the NA meetings better.
I've heard back and forth, but it's all, I don't know. It's all the same to me. It's.
I mean, the 12 steps can apply to
Right.
anything: gambling, eating, drinking, using,
Right.
Whatever.
So are you home now? Are you home now?
Yeah, I'm home now, and I'm out, and
How long were
I'm
you
telling
in? You tried to do an outpatient thing, but the COVID and everything kind of messed that up, and it didn't really work. So you kind of readdressed it, and you went back again, correct?
Yeah, and to tell you the truth, it wasn't the COVID thing. It was the fact that I was a big fat alcoholic, and it wasn't working. So I went in, and my girlfriend said, you're either going inpatient or you're going to be homeless. And I'm like, oh, well, I don't want to do that. And never been to jail, but let me tell you, when they lock that door behind you, it's kind of a sobering fact. And you go in and you detox, and I'm hitting every meeting I can. I'm hitting Zoom meetings.
I went to a
Life is
PTA
so
meeting. I was determined. I went to a daggone PTA meeting.
I've done every,
Whoa!
I've done,
3
I've
days,
done
people!
every-
3 days!
Yeah, I've done every meeting, and I've laughed and cried and done everything. And life is so much better and so much sweeter. I would not have ate a tangerine a month ago if you would have, said, "Here's $20, here's a tangerine, or here's no dollars, and you can have a shot of whiskey." Well, I'd have took the shot of whiskey, and right now I think that I don't even look. I've even readjusted my schedule to where I drive through town that I don't drive by the liquor store.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had to make a 100% life change, and I'm a happy camper. Way happier this time right now than I was last year this time.
Well, you're going to be sober Christmas. You're going to be sober for Christmas.
When I went into when I started my thing is when COVID really hit, and that's the one blessing of COVID, because it gave me the time to be able. I was hitting 2-3 meetings a day. I couldn't get enough.
Yes, sir. I'm hitting all the Zoom meetings, and I think I've got a sponsor lined up. I'm, early into it, almost a month, and I think my sponsor, he kind of looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger, so I will walk the line. He is a humongous guy, but he's very humble, very nice, and let me tell you, if y'all are listening out there and you're drinking or you're whatever you're doing, no judgment from me, because you all heard me a month ago, and I was a train wreck.
You were going to jump off a bridge.
And I don't even remember saying, the sad part, I would never take my life. I don't even remember talking to you all. And when I heard it on tape, because it was played back to me, I was horrified. I was like, you're kidding me. That's me?
Wow.
That's not me.
Yeah, I was embarrassed for you, dude.
No, I was embarrassed for myself. Don't blame me a bit.
You have made my night hearing this. I mean, that's
great.
fantastic.
But you got to stick with it, man. You gotta stick with it. And it just, my problem always, I'm like, I got this. I think I got this, and, just stick with it. All right, brother.
Well,
go ahead.
Hey, and good to talk to y'all. And let me tell you something real quick. It's not always rosy. It's not always great. And no, I don't got this. I have to stay with my 12 steps, and I have to work every day, because at any moment, any of us can fall down. And let me tell you, I would much rather stand up straight than fall back down.
There you go, brother.
Hey, my thing with falling is it's a corny cliche, but if you fall forward, who cares? I mean, as long as you're going forward. I mean, when I went back out at the beginning of the year, as bad as that was, it was the best thing that could have happened to me. I needed that kick in the pants. It got me serious about it. It made me realize how serious it was.
Shoot out.
And got me focused. I mean, we laugh and have fun, obviously, but this is I was one exit away, a day away from losing everything. I mean,
you know what? My sponsor my counselor tells me, I'll tell you one time, he says it all the time. He says, you've got 3 choices besides staying sober. You're going to be covered up, you're going to be effed up, or you're going to be locked up. you take a choice. And I knew what my choice was. It was going to be covered up because you'll drink yourself in the ground. And look, people, it's
I was
Christmas.
wondering what the cover up was. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that's a sheet over your face.
The beauty, like we've said, is if you don't like it, give it a shot. If it doesn't work and you're not happy,
And you go back to being covered up.
There's plenty of stores that'll sell you beer tonight, you know. Or
All right, I want to hang up. Hey, Scott, good to hear your voice, brother. Talk to you soon.
congrats,
Hey, y'all have a
buddy.
great night.
You too,
Congrats.
Merry
That's
Oh,
awesome.
I hit the phone too. Merry Christmas to you. Merry holidays, Kwanzaa,
Yeah.
Kwanzaa.
Hanukkah?
Kwanzaa. Is that for like black Jewish people? Kwanzaa, African American Jews.
I don't even. I'm not.
That,
even,
is that? See, I'm an idiot. I love all religion. I respect any religion that you may be, and if you're my Jewish brothers, my Asian brothers, my
the
African
hole's
American.
already dug. It's
No, let me dig myself out. All right. Oh, I was wanting to call and say hi to Laura real quick. It's really good to hear
That's
that.
inspirational. That's awesome to hear from him.
Oh, jeez.
Because I'll tell you what, I hadn't heard how he was doing in that time. It was rough.
So I'm having problems at home, and I'm good. Because I'm so close to home. But oh, jeez, Josh, if you're listening, quit talking, please, to your sister. Now let's see here. I want to go. It's really easy to be triggered, you know.
Yep. And they're it's not a matter of if, it's when.
Yeah.
And when they hit, God, I got to be ready.
Yeah, right. Oh, just say hi to my friend real quick if she picks up. Hey, can I just say hi to you? It's Tom and Jeff, Sober Talk. How are you?
Thanks. How are you?
We're good. Are you working? What you doing right now?
No, I got that new cushy job. I'm 9 to 5, Monday through Friday.
Oh, okay, congrats. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So we got Laura on the phone. Laura is our resident nurse, and she tells us stories about people coming in and drunk and dead and not remembering
Can
who
I
they
tell
killed.
you that my football sweetheart came in yesterday drunk as a skunk to the ER. I had to take care of him.
Your high school football player?
Sweetheart. Yep.
Wow. Okay. You said
Came in
wow.
drunk. Yep.
I mean,
Yep. He was pretty bad.
did he know who you were, and was he aware?
At first he didn't. He tried to swing on me. But a little bit after he sobered up in the tank, he was a little bit better. So.
Hey, Laura, I hear, and I swear it's people bragging, but about my blood alcohol level was, and it's like, okay, it's sad.
I got the high score on the breathalyzer test.
Well,
I'm a badass, all right? Let me tell you, I got the high score.
I hear a .38 is dead, and you hear people saying, what numbers have you seen actually of people that
the highest one I've seen is .37.
Wow.
Because I've heard people say the .4s, and I always thought .38 and above.
If you're coming in 387, you're lucky to be breathing.
Okay.
I mean, we would probably have you tubed at that point.
I got you.
Tubed.
Okay.
Laura,
Yeah.
I wanted to see if I can get you back on this week, but I just wanted to call and say hi because I flaked on you the other night.
It's usually the guys that are bragging about and it's like, okay, that's something to be proud of.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah, but,
Exactly.
all right. I'll email you and see when we can get you back on this week.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
Thanks. Take
See
care.
ya. Bye. So we actually had a real caller scheduled. I probably need to call her now.
You are so rude to these people. You call and they get on and you.
I just muted you. I'm not rude. Oh, jeez. All right, Tom. Love y'all. Good night. John Irwin is taking off. John, good to hear you, buddy. I want to talk with you. Boy, John Irwin's probably the best guest. He was up there. I mean,
Excuse me?
No, as a caller.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
He broke down, and it was a magical. It was one of the early days of Sober Talk, and boy, what a! I want to go back and put together a best of, and because it was wow, was it? It was so. It was tough. Yeah, it was. He lost everything.
Hello?
Hey, Lindsay, it's Tom and Jeff with Sober Talk. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We are good. So, what's your story? I know nothing. I just had you made a comment. Say, hey, you want to be on the show? You said sure. So, are you a drinker? You married to a drinker, or what's up?
No, I have a little over 2 years sober right now. I work the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous, that drugs are more in my story than anything.
Okay.
It just kind of happened that I first tried to get sober in 2016, and I was introduced, or more ordered, let me rephrase that, to start doing meetings. And AA meetings are just the ones that I kind of dipped into right away, and it's just where I got my footing and where I got my foundation, I guess, if you will. So I identify as an alcoholic.
Lori, what is the difference for 12 step?
Lindsay.
Lindsay, what is the difference as far as the steps with alcohol versus narcotics? Is there a different approach? Because I know nothing other than alcohol.
Yeah, I don't think there's a different approach. I think there's just different wording. And it's kind of like what your guest said, as long as something works for you, that's all I care about. I believe that there's several routes to recovery, as long as it works and as long as it helps you, stay free of alcohol and drugs and have somewhat of a normal, productive life. That's the end game, that's the goal. Right. But I think it's just mainly wording between Alcoholics Anonymous and, per se, Narcotics Anonymous, I guess, if you will. And there's a little more reading, I think, involved, but the gist of the steps is the same.
Okay.
So the 12 steps, be it for alcohol in, what about like for, like chocolate anonymous, there's like food anonymous. You gotta call, make amends with people. Every time I made that meatloaf.
I don't know if there's amends for that, but I think for the most part, your anonymous type 12-step programs are based off the same principles, I guess, if you will, because the whole point is to kind of help you deal with the things that you've been through in your life and the things that you've done in your life, and then, go through your life day by day using the things that you learned working the steps the first time.
That's a great point, because when and again, not pushing AA, it's just what my background is or what got me here. But I came into this, my problem was beer. I drank way too much beer, and that was it. If I got rid of that, all my troubles went away, and that is so far from the truth.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, right. But
I drank beer because of my problems.
Then the drinking becomes a bigger problem than the problems that you were drinking about. So,
well, the thing is, we drink and we do drugs all night or all day or whatever to escape our problems, but they don't go anywhere.
Right.
As soon as the alcohol and the drugs are gone, the problems are still there, and now we don't have, drugs and alcohol. So then we're on that never-ending chase to get it again.
Do you feel that you're happier now?
I am extremely happy in my life today.
Really?
I have more peace, more tranquility, more serenity, more just everything across the board.
I agree.
And I'm not even talking like financially. Like, I'm not rich. I don't have a big fancy house. I have a car that's in my name and paid for. I have a job that I'm respected at, and another possible job opportunity on the horizon, But my relationships with my son, with my friends, with my family have all been restored. Like, I have
100%.
More than anything, my first sponsor asked me what I wanted out of recovery the first time around, and I told her peace.
Do you have a sponsee?
Yes, I do. I have a few sponsees.
There's one here. She just Fussnecker.
Yeah, my sponsee's on here. Yeah, Calliope. She's on
Calliope. What a cool name that is.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's my girl.
You guys are in my neck of the woods. You have to come in the studio and be a guest one day.
I've been following you, Tom, for years. I mean,
I saw you. I had to get a different car and everything.
Not literally following you. You used to go to like Comedy Caravan, right, and headline back in the day and do like pranks on the street.
That's my home club. And matter of fact,
they went out of business. Didn't they?
Every time. If your business is doing really well and you wanted to go worse, just have me headline. I've done a lot of shows sober on that stage. I've done a lot of shows. I did a show once where the guy had to come get me off stage because I knew I was drunk. So I started
Yeah.
apologizing to everyone in the audience, and I try to like give them all their money back.
Yeah, but you
I'm
know
pretty
what? When
sure
you're
I've
when
seen
you're
you before at Comedy Caravan.
Oh yeah, you remember you've been laughing really really hard.
but have you ever been where you realize you've had too much to drink, but you still don't stop?
Constantly.
Oh, plenty of times. Yeah, that's
Isn't
what.
that
Are you
just-
talking to me?
Well,
All of us, yeah.
yeah, all of us, all
Yeah.
three of us. But yeah,
I think that's one of the big things that differentiates being an addict or an alcoholic or not being one. Like, I can't stop. I can once, they say one is too many, but it's also not enough.
yeah,
Like,
but
if I do one, I'm going to do another one because that's not enough for me. I'm going to go until there's nothing left to be had.
even
That's
when
just
I
how
know
I operate.
I'm in trouble and it's gonna be,
Yep.
it won't stop. It's just amazing how that works.
Hey, quick,
Right.
Lindsay and Jeff, I just want to interrupt y'all on topic jump here. David Vernazzi, so I'm not handling things too well right now. David, I hope I'm going to keep in my prayers and thoughts there. Maybe if we have a chance, we'll get you on soon and catch up with you. So Lindsay, so have you in 2 years, is this your first attempt at getting sober?
No. I tried to get sober in 2016 and I made it to a little over 10 months.
Oh.
And I was just kind of going through the motions and doing what I was told with my steps and my sponsor, but I didn't understand it. And I was too scared to really keep saying, hey, I don't get this. Like, something's not clicking and not connecting. So I just kept going. And
What
so
happened that
basically
day?
I got in a lot of,
What happened that day? What was your mindset?
there was
and what was your
my
reasoning,
mindset was
or-
bad. I was very discouraged. There's a part in our literature that says something to the effect of basically I'm not capable of recovering due to like a mental state kind of thing, like not capable of grasping the program.
Yeah.
And I literally had told myself at that point, I'm just not going to get it. Like, I mean, my sponsor is amazing. She's explained it as many times as she can, as many ways as she can, and it's not connecting. So I'm just going to die with a needle in my arm or with a beer in my hand or whatever the case may be. It's just all there is to it. And I was in physical pain at the time. I had back issues, and I used to use that, of course, to my advantage. But I was in a lot of physical pain that day and kind of the same time frame and feeling sorry for myself. I don't deserve to be in this much pain. This is bullshit. And, I told myself I'm going to get one pain pill and then I'm just not going to get another one. Like, that was literally the extent of my planning. I'm just not. So I got that one and it took maybe a full day and a half, 2 days. And I was off and running looking for what I really wanted.
Oh, that's a tough one.
I always like to find out what could you have done differently, and because I'm always trying to learn, because I'm going to have those days. I mean, we all are.
Yeah.
And I got to be ready
Well,
for
you guys
them
were
as a whole.
talking. You guys were talking about triggers when I first started listening to the show a while ago, and I've been taught in my program that no matter what, like, we're going to have triggers in life, and my program doesn't teach the world to work around me. It teaches me to work around the world. And I'm going to have things in my life, like I used to get high in gas station bathrooms. So there for a while, every time I would ride by certain gas stations, I'd be like, oh shit. And kind of the thought would come into my head. But that's why it's important to learn the tools. That's why it's important to build a support group. I will say, of course, aside from God, that's who I choose to call my higher power. Aside from him, of course, my support group has literally saved my life these past 2 years.
Lindsay,
because I've been able to call them and.
Well, go ahead, Jeff.
I just wanted real quick that there's two. We were talking the other day about avoidance and avoid people's purples, people, places, things, and you hear that, but initially when I first got
purple people eater.
Yeah, exactly, the bridge in Cincy. But when I first got sober, people first getting sober, they talk about avoiding the liquor store on the way home, and I agree with that. But there's it's like a second stage kicks in, because if I don't learn to handle what that liquor store's causing internally, there's always going to be a liquor store on the way home. Whatever route I go, I'm always going to do it.
It's not the liquor store that's the problem.
Right.
It's not the beer that's the problem. It's not the alcohol that's the problem. It's the thinking that goes on in my head that I can't handle, that I can't deal with, that I don't have coping mechanisms.
And I'm not being funny here. I'm not trying to be funny here. I don't have to try. I just have.
Yeah.
No, but triggers. You step on a rusty nail, you got to get a tetanus shot. Are you like? I mean, when you see that syringe or an IV from a kidney stone or something, is that a trigger? Can it be? I guess it could, huh?
Well, the again, on my literature that I go by in Alcoholics Anonymous, teaches us that if we are spiritually fit, which is the goal of working the 12 steps and continuing to work out the principles, if I'm spiritually fit, I can handle those things. If I'm spiritually fit and I have a reason to be at a bar because my company is having a cocktail party to celebrate a promotion or whatever, if I'm spiritually fit, I'm going to be able to sit there and be okay and not be triggered. I can use anything as a trigger because in my mind, in my cups, when I'm not, doing what I need to do for my recovery, it's sunny outside. I need to get high. It's raining. I need to get high.
Yeah.
Of course,
it's going to storm. I need to get high. I've got the job. I lost the job. I can't go. I want whatever the case may be. If I want to get high, then I'm going to get high. But if I don't want to get high, I'm going to use my tools. That's the difference.
What scares me though is I have days where you can't rock me, where I'm not going to drink. No way, no how. But there are days when you're not. I mean, you have highs and lows, days when you are stronger than others and days when you're just having a rough day. And those are the days that scare me. That's what if something bad were to happen, and that is going to happen. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. But, I get some bad news on a good day. I'll fight through it. But you get the
bad news on a bad day.
Yeah, bad news. I mean, you get the perfect storm, and that's when I just, and that's why I'm sitting here right now. This is why I'm on I do a morning meeting. I'm trying to get that suit of armor as polished and strong as possible for that time.
Well, cool. Hey, Lindsay, I gotta call someone else. Thank you for. I'd love to have you back on again. Especially, it looks like you're a local girl. Well, this would be great, and a kaleidoscope or what's your friend's name?
Calliope.
Kaleidoscope.
When I first met her, I thought it was Calliope.
That's got colonoscopy. Hey, bring your friend colonoscopy with you. All right, we'll talk to you soon, Lindsay.
I'm laughing right now. All right, thanks again, guys.
Bye.
Take care.
All right, so real quick, first of all, there's a guy here who, Jeff, made a comment to your question. Greg Chappelle says, unfortunately, I hit 4.1 more than once. Not bragging. The doctor said I wasn't human. Definitely not recommend it. And I need to call this guy here in a second. But what were you saying? I'm sorry.
I don't know. You took it. You stole the money. It was big. It was
like the best idea ever. Dude, you missed it.
I had the 2-word answer for sobriety.
No,
it's gone.
Hey, we should put it on a T-shirt.
Yeah, it was there. Millions of
I'll tell
lives would
you,
have
Talk
been
Sober to Me shirt is going to be our, when we start trying to make money and to pay for your gas and stuff.
Yeah.
We'll have to get a T-shirt. All right, let's call Derek Davidson real quick. Don't use my name. Let's call, Will Rogers. He named his horse Trigger because he was trying to trigger. Nothing. Foul tip.
Have a great trip. Good seeing you.
I gotta go.
You're on your own.
I was just call Galen up. Galen up.
Why isn't your nativity scene fitting in your front yard this year?
But they're 6 feet apart. Okay, hold on.
Sorry.
You guys got I wrote a song with my buddy Jim Moose Brown. He wrote 5 O'Clock Somewhere for Alan Jackson.
Check it out. It's funny.
Yeah, it's called Take This Year and Shove It. It's on one of my Facebooks. All right, let's call this guy real quick. And he's 513. That's
that tune could go big.
Who knows, Only has like 2 weeks left before the...
Hello.
Hey, Derek, it's Tom Mabe. How are you? And Jeff Graham here.
Hey. How y'all doing, man?
We are good. We're a little rushed for time, but I wanted to check in with you. You said you had a story or a comment or something.
I got a story for you. So I am 50 years old, and I didn't start drinking until I was 27 because I played football, scholarship to a college, the whole 9. Got married at 27. She was a drinker, started drinking, and since we're short on time, the whole point is built my whole life up from 27 up until 48, living in a $300,000 home in Montgomery. And because of drinking, I lost it all.
Oh.
Not only my marriage, the relationship with my kids and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And just because someone may blow a 4.7 or do whatever, DUIs and getting public intoxication is not a definition of alcoholism. It could be inside the home. It could be wherever.
Right.
The thing is, it destroys families. It destroys relationships, your relationship with your neighbors, your friends, or whatever. It is horrible. And until I got a life coach and I'm just trying to be as serious as I can with you, be short on time. Until you have a life coach and something it means something to you and is valued, regardless if you go to AA or whatnot, it's not going to help. You have to want to do it, and you have to have something that you value or that has been taken away from you that you want more so than drinking that would allow you to continue on with your quest in life. And that's the biggest thing that I can take from that, because I'm telling you right now, from football, like I'm not going to go into that for a short time, but from being on top of the world to losing my home, to losing my marriage, the only thing that I have left, what I value, is wanting to have that back again. My life, myself. So I just wanted to say, I don't even know how I got on y'all. I'm sorry, I don't know how I got on y'all.
No, that's great. How long have you been sober?
My relationship ended, my marriage ended December. So December of last year, you can't get me to drink anything. I won't drink nothing. And I've never smoked weed or anything like that or did drugs.
Are you working? Did you say you were working some kind of program?
No, I never did any programs. I have a life coach. I never did any programs for fear. I've been in sports all my life. So I felt like it made me feel weak to go. And I'm not saying that for anybody else. I'm saying for me. You know, to go to a 12-step program, do whatever, it was sort of like admitting that I was weaker than anybody else or whatever. So I chose to use a life coach who brought it to my attention like, hey, everything around you, you're destroying. What is it that means the most to you? And she never talked to me about drinking or anything. She talked to me about what meant the most to me. And she asked me, how can I have those things again?
But did they ever touch on why you're drinking? Did you ever touch on why you were drinking? Were you unhappy with your $300,000 house or your wife, or I mean?
No, sir. It was yes, they did. They did elaborate on that, and it was more so about lifestyle. You know, when you deal with things that I was dealing with or I was around, the people that I was around, and again, I didn't start drinking until I was 27. It was more so peer pressure, women, lifestyle, hotels, cars that you drive or whatever. Pretty much what it was the norm is what I'm going to say. And then you never really know. You start with 20 people, then it's 40 people, then you got 30 people, 20 people, 10 people, 5 people, because your demeanor and your attitude and your actions change. So those people don't want to be around you no more. At your height, you're great.
Yeah.
But when you get drunker and drunker and drunker, you start to realize that those people no longer want to associate with you, because they may do 1 or 2 drinks, but you're doing 10 or 12.
Yeah.
So they don't want to be around you no more. But then by that time, yeah, you're at your height, but then you lose it all because of your drinking. And you don't really, I'm going to speak for me, I didn't really understand until she said, I don't want to be with you no more.
You know, it's
just like, okay. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No. You brought up a great point. You know, it's Tom, you said at the beginning of the show, how do you know you have a drinking problem if it affects? But everyone's reason is different. You know, it's and you hear people say about, well, I don't think I have I've never had a DUI. I've never had a DUI.
I've never been in jail.
Yeah, so therefore I don't have a drinking problem. No, it applies to what each person is. I've never been in cuffs or any of that kind of stuff, but I was about to lose my family, and it was what brings you to that point of, it's going to apply, and that's why people, how do you know when you drink too much? I have no idea. I have no idea if you have a drinking problem. That's you that has to decide that. I know what made me realize that, and as far as what program to do, God, it's so funny you say that about the pride, and I'm stronger than that, blah blah blah. I did get to the point where I was waving the white flag. I said, I don't care. I'm done, and I don't care what program, what I got to do. I'm not.
I think it's pretty interesting. I never heard that before. That's pretty cool.
Whatever works.
Yeah.
Whatever works for you.
I'm not hating that idea. I like that.
Well, the life coach is different because you don't have a meeting with a group. So you get my life coach, and I don't know how it works for others. And if anybody is listening, if you have one, you get, for my life coach, you pay a certain amount of money. Insurance may or may not cover it depending on what insurance you have.
Mm-hmm.
You get a certain amount of time. So, and whenever you call, it can be a half an hour or an hour. And you can text, you can call, you can email, you can do whatever. So they're there all the time. So it helps a little bit more than just going to a program Wednesday at 4 p.m. I don't know how AA works, so I'm just speaking.
Yeah.
So I can call her or text her and whatever, and then she'll get back with me. Sometimes it's right now, sometimes it's half an hour, or it may be through email. And then you can actually, I found myself expressing my letter without being in front of somebody in words than being in front of them and still trying to be masculine or manly.
Yep.
I could like let it out in words. And then, you know, at times she would pick up the phone and call and be like, hey, are you okay? Versus just being in front of somebody and be like, I'm not getting ready to cry. I found it to be a little more intimate that way. I can say everything and not be interrupted versus being like tough. So it helped me a lot.
The important thing, just like you said, is what works for you. It's for me it was AA, for you it's the life coach, but that's why don't be open, because it's not. I can't tell someone how to do this. They got to find it for themselves. But there are a ton of options.
Hey, Derek, man, thanks for picking up the phone.
Yeah,
We're way late here, but man, it was good to hear your
Appreciate
story.
you, man. Appreciate
Hey,
you.
congrats, Derek.
First time caller. Love it. Thank you. Later.
Thanks, man. I love you, brother. See ya. That's awesome.
That
That's
was
a cool
awesome.
dude. That's a very interesting. You know, at one point, first of all, I kind of want to retouch. I spoke with a guy named Bradley the other day. He called, and we were kind of busting his chops on air. I was in Hilton Head, and I just had my laptop, but he called from James 3:16 Ministries. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And and I started questioning, well, how much does it cost? Take it. And it was, you know, that you work, you go there, they'll help you get sober, but you're going to. And so Bradley, if you're listening, I don't take anything. If I was busting your chops, dude. It just it felt, you know, I question everything, and I can't endorse anything without knowing a little more about it. But I'm glad that you're sober, and I'm glad you got a good success story there. Let's see here.
I love what he said as far as different, and it's so true. Don't get frustrated with anyone.
You're a
because
college
there's a
football
ton.
player. You were and your son played pro.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, and was beer a big thing when you were playing football?
My nickname on the team was Otis Graham. So from Andy Griffith.
Oh yeah, the town drunk.
Otis the town drunk. But yeah,
Were you telling me something about after a game your dad was wanting to take you out to dinner somewhere?
This was, you know, I always associated with being an alcoholic is when I've got alcohol in my system. So after, I don't know, 5 o'clock or more, that's when alcohol is affecting my life. But my folks came out from West Coast, where I'm from, and they'd come out to see their son playing football, and we'd go out for afterwards. And I was, all I could think about was how quick can I get this meal done with them so I could get to the bar and start drinking beer with my buddies. And I was a jerk of a son in that, you know, that here they are out to time with their son. And I wanted to just, so alcohol
Let it out,
was,
Jeff. Let it out,
you.
buddy.
Thank you.
Let it out. Don't
No,
hold back.
alcohol was running my life even when it wasn't in my system. So even when I didn't have,
that makes sense.
when I blew a 0.00, it was still, it still affected my life just as much. It dominated just as much if I did have beer in my system.
Yeah, Greg Chappelle says, what if the thing is most important to them is drinking? Sorry, devil's advocate. And Greg says, if I could get back the money I've spent on alcohol. Now, did you ever, when your parents come pick you up, you ever done this one? Hey, you want to go grab some lunch? Yeah, what are you thinking? Panera Bread. No, they don't have beer at Panera Bread. I'm like, what sounds good? Wings. I just had a trigger. Oh my gosh, that just talking right there.
Right there, wings and
no Panera Bread. I love, man. I have a nice solid wrap. No,
are you having a trigger over the food or over beer with?
No, the memory.
Yeah,
the memory. Talking about let's go to Texas Roadhouse. They're open for lunch on Friday and Saturday. Let's go. They got big old cold beer. Oh, it's good stuff.
Yeah, certain wing places or burger places or whatever. I mean, it was, yeah.
What's it called? Halt.
Hungry, angry.
Lesbian.
Tired. I don't know.
Lonely.
Lonely. That's it. Lonely is a killer for me. That was.
Oh boy.
Lonely or bored or alone is those were the killers for me.
Justin Brady has not had a drink in 2 years. We had a guy called and he said, "Man, I haven't drank, Tom," and he's like, he had the date and everything, and now I still shoot up a little bit. And I'm like, wait a minute.
Oh yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah. Well.
And Lindsay's saying that she would shoot up in a bathroom gas station.
I want to hear one sentence answers your key to success is what I'd love to see what people had to say. I think it'd be fantastic just to see in one sentence what do you give what got you sober and what keeps you sober. Just out of curiosity.
My name is not really a sentence, it's just my first and last name. A lot of going to be saying tease. Got nothing. Eric Hippie, Hippe.
Amazon does give you your money back on those Revenge of the Telemarketer CDs, even 15 years later. So
I'm making it my lifestyle
right
now.
I understand when I mentioned it and sent me a check.
So this is Eric Hipp. He is from North Carolina. He says, "I'm making it my lifestyle right now. Everything is new. I have to learn to live all over." Man, you do.
A lot of habits to break.
No, Derek.
A lot of routines.
And Derek Davison says, "Not all drunks get DUIs." That's right. I've never had one.
Nope.
Knock on something.
Coulda, shoulda.
Oh, man. So, wow, this was we had a good turnout tonight.
Because my kids showed up.
Yeah. We need Danny Holland. Everyone has an excuse for every situation in case they get caught drinking. You have to put that same effort into making a plan not to drink.
Great.
When you get out.
Great effort. Great point.
Yeah, right.
Great point.
All having it. I mean, I could easily, I could have easily tell, my wife could have said, "Well, how'd you do?" Because she knew I was a nervous wreck.
Yeah.
And if I had, I could have easily gone. I had to have a little drink. I was so nervous.
Yeah.
I got kicked out the first night. Let's see here. All right, let's switch back over to Sober Talk. Guys, thanks so much. In the description, we do put our podcast up. You can find the podcast links if you just want to listen to the show. SoberTalkLive.com. It's down on the screen, too. SoberTalkLive.com. And, it's...
That says for autographed Tom Mabe merchandise.
Yeah, it's in $38. All right, guys, you got anything else for Jeffrey? Are we done? What do you think? Penny Bishop, don't feel bad. I blame myself for my son going out getting drunk and wrecking his car, going to jail because we had an argument about his drinking. I have never been able to help him.
Not your fault. I know it's so easy to take blame, but life throws too much at us. We got to learn how to handle it without drinking it.
All right, real quick, because it's just. I feel like we're having let's just do one more real quick one, and I always try to get just a one, and something it's funny. The last guy, Derek, I couldn't hear real well, and I feel we got to figure out how to. If you never get this over,
Hello.
Carl, it's Tom and Jeff. We saw you passed out at an intersection. And we thought you'd been on the road. Are you okay? I love that story, brother.
Tom, a very awful feeling, except for the fact that it was not a policeman that knocked on my window. It was the guy behind me.
So,
hey, buddy, you okay? Hey.
If you guys don't remember, Carl made a comment earlier that he was drunk at an intersection, passed out at a red light. and the guy behind him knocking on the window, and you had, hey, congrats for thinking really quick. Oh, I've been up all night. Jeez, Lou, that was good thinking.
I'll tell you though, it's I know this is we laugh about it, but
It's not
it's
funny.
it's no, and I'm not taking anything away from it, but because
I think it's
but that's just that's some bad there's some
It's dangerous.
this thing has kicked it's destroyed a lot of lives, you know, and
It
it's
is.
I don't want to be I don't want
Yeah.
to it's
No, guys, hey, Jeff, listen, I was one of those guys that I volunteered to go to AA because the hell I had no other. I mean, I didn't know who to turn to. I didn't want to tell my family or friends or anything in the very beginning. Hey, but boy, I knew I was going down. I was
Yeah.
crashing.
Yep.
And then from there, I did begin a life. And that was not the end of my drinking career, but it gave me the greatest start. I think I got 6 months out of that first go around, and but the most important comment tonight, the thing is, you guys have. This is probably one of the best shows, if not the best, that you are programmed.
I'm on fire tonight. I am on fire.
Yeah, you look much happier than usual, and it's because of Jeff. And
Yeah.
and as it was off thereof, Tom, we're gonna have Jeff and I are gonna have to ask you to cut your hair to our
It's
length.
bad. It's, yeah.
The jaw's length.
I mean, if
Gee.
you're gonna be one of us, you're gonna have to.
You and
get
Jeff
rid
can
of
stand
that.
really close together, and
I
you're
don't
like
need-
Dolly Parton.
I don't even have to cut it. It does it automatically for me.
Hey, we don't have to pay that much for shampoo.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, Laura says, did you know that if you have a substance abuse problem or drug problem, you can talk to your nurse? We have protocols to help you. We can get you started on get around starting on IVs, and we listen. We're here to help. Did you guys hear the story? And Laura, you might have heard this. A young girl and her boyfriend was at a doctor's office. And the lady the nurse could tell that the girl was just off. Something was wrong. The girl looked like she was extremely scared. And she said, I need you to go to the bathroom and get a urine test. And in the bathroom, she had written, do we need to call the police? Are you in trouble? Just take this pen and write it, and we will know. And sure enough, she said, yeah, I need help. He's beating me or something like that. So they said, all right, we're going to run this test. And they left the door open, and then they called the police. And the police came and took the guy. And God, so nurses are awesome, man. Nurses are awesome.
They really are, Tom. I'm glad you brought that up. And I mean, just the comments that Laura I just saw made. Hey, Tom, can we buy you a new shirt? We're
Mhm.
You don't like my Hilton Head shirt? This is my fat shirt. I've gained so much weight. This kind of covers a little bit of that up.
Do you know that if you're in an airport, because we were talking about the bars and airports, because that was like mandatory drinking time. If you pick up one of the courtesy phones and just say you need a, they'll page. You can say you need a friend of Bill or whatever, which is the AA code. They'll put it out to the thing and to get, because people struggle in airports, and it's a way to do that.
Yes, that's a major place to struggle too, as we all know. I think, or a lot of us.
Yeah.
But man, that's great. You guys have got to keep this going, and it just seems so much more positive when you two are together. I don't know.
It's just fun. It's lively, and we can, we're not always going to be laughing at each other for passing out drunk. And there's going to be some. Oh, gee, what was that?
That was your elbow hanging up on him. That was nice.
geez.
Nice job.
Carl, I love you. I'm sorry. We'll call you next time. Oh, live video interrupt. Boy, maybe we're dead. Maybe we're done here. Maybe what happened here? We lost Carl. Carl, we'll talk to you next time. I think Lena Martin. Thank you, Dora Bray. I'm an addict from smoking pot for years, but I have been sober for 1 year, 6 months now. Addiction comes in many forms.
It does.
So yeah, man, good show, fun show. It's probably, I think it is one of the best shows.
Oh, it's great. It's always good to be down here.
Yeah, well, Yeah, we're gonna keep on rocking this, and we got, hey guys, send
And
us.
that snack size bag of Cheez-Its really made the trip worthwhile. I just want to thank you so much.
A little something, something.
Yeah, oh God, yeah.
I'll give that and a bag of chips,
You
buddy.
are one hell of a host. Thank you.
But I want to, when we start, and we'll leave on this. What can we do? Like, what time? Okay, we got sober talk 8 at night. Either you and I together, or individually. I do a night, you do a night from Cincy. We go back, whatever. But what can we be? Zoom meetings, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, there's
We'll do that painting by numbers.
there's anything. It's just, this is fun, but I get so much out of this, and this is what I need. I mean, I don't have any answers. Everything that's worked for me, I've gotten from someone else, and that's the beauty of these things. Is that where we all throw our 2 cents worth and put together a bag of tricks to get us through it.
Yeah. Well, guys, thanks for watching another episode of Sober Talk. I'm Tom Mabe. This is Jeff Graham. SoberTalkLive.com. SoberTalkLive.com. If you'd like to support the show, there's also a button there. You guys like $4.99 a month. Cancel anytime. And when you become a supporter, Jeff, we call you and sing you to sleep every night. So it's cool. Love you guys. Thanks. It's fun stuff, man.